Hey guys, this is Mindy's Marketing Mondays. Hey guys, this is Mindy's Marketing Mondays, where this is our bi-monthly segment where I talk about marketing tips, tricks, and just general advice to help you market your business and grow your online presence. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the difference in a branding campaign and a lead generation campaign. So often we get a lot of people inquiring about campaigns to help them grow their business. At the end of the day, everybody wants conversions, and conversions, I mean money. They want to see a return on their investment. They want to see more customers calling and picking up the phone. But one thing that a lot of customers or just businesses in general often miss out on is thinking about their long-term strategy and how to continuously be marketing towards individuals who may not right now be looking to purchase what they have, but they are a contender for somebody who might be in the market for what they have at some point in the future. So that kind of campaign is called branding. And branding is when you literally take your brand and what you're about and you push it out there for everybody just to recognize you and who you are. Branding doesn't have the conversion of trying to get the person to buy now. A branding conversion could look like gaining a follower, gaining a like, or even gaining a comment. Branding could also look like somebody adding you, have your page pulled up on their favorites of people who they want to follow. Branding could also just be you taking a logo and putting it out there backed by a really strong message and just reinforcing that message to the general population. So when somebody is ready to buy, they recognize or they remember the branding that you put out there and they call you first. So an example of a good branding ad, let's say that you're a roofing company and not every day somebody needs a new roof, but there are a ton of homeowners in the market who could potentially at some point may need a new roof or they may need a roof inspection. So obviously you would want two different campaigns as a roofing company. You would want lead generation, and this is for people who are actively in the market to get a roof inspection, to get a gutter installation, or to even have a roof repair. And those are your buy now customers. And those are strong campaigns that are super enriched with CTAs. Again, we've talked about CTAs before, and a CTA is just a call to action. A CTA can look like a book now, call now, message now. So that is an example of a lead generation. A branding campaign for a roofing company might look like a testimonial from somebody who had maybe roof damage and they called your team out to have it serviced, and they talk about how well the servicing was and how they would recommend you to anybody in the future if they happen to have any roofing needs. Another example is, let's say that it is Texas and we know that it is February right now, and we know coming soon in March, April, and May, it is storm season for Texas. Typically, anytime we are in storm season, we see an uptick in service-related calls, especially roofing, due to hail damage or even flooding, and a lot to do with strong winds and potentially damaging gutters as well as roofs. So a good way to use a branding campaign would be to start heavily branding your name in the winter months, preparing for when those storm season comes. People are going to recognize your logo and they're going to recognize your brand. So good ways of doing that is just pushing out your logo and talking about how you have free consultations and that you have over 100 reviews of happy customers. That's a good example of a branding ad. So one thing that you need to be aware of with branding is that you are not going to see an immediate ROI in money when it comes to branding, but it is 100% a very critical campaign strategy to your marketing. You need to have an allocated budget set aside simply just to invest in branding your name. ways that you've done this in the past that can kind of help explain how branding works and how you may have used it is promotional items and promotional products. If you've ever stuck your logo on a pin, a cup holder, or even the side of your vehicle or a t-shirt or a hat, that is essentially a branding campaign. These things don't necessarily generate you instant leads, but what they do is they create an impression to an audience and to people. So when they are ready to find somebody in your industry, they remember that famous branding mark and they associate it with your brand. So even though it's not an immediate ROI, it is critical to your brand to make sure that you are creating awareness and branding campaigns. Again, these are completely different than lead generation. If you are running a lead generation specific campaign, this will be a much more costly campaign than branding. Lead generation costs more simply because all online marketing and advertising works in an auction. And one thing that everybody wants, regardless of what industry you're in, is leads. So anything that is in high demand typically comes with a cost. So you're gonna compete with all other roofers who are currently in the market looking for those people ready right now to buy a new roof. So you have to keep in mind that you're going to be essentially bidding on that impression for that person who is in the market for a roof. So if you, a roofing company, has a budget of, let's say, $2 to win the bid on the person looking for a roof, and let's say roofing company B has currently a $2.50 budget to win the impression of the person looking for the roof, then obviously the bid is going to go to the person with the $2.50 budget allocation. So the more competitive that your industry is in your market, you can expect to spend a lot more money on a lead generation campaign, just because you are going to be outbidding or wanting to outbid your competitors. So you always need to keep that in mind when you're wanting to run any sort of lead generation. If it sounds too good to be true, it most likely is. Lead generation is unfortunately a very costly campaign. And if somebody quotes you at a very low cost to run a lead generation campaign, I would just heed to say that that is possibly a red flag, because it is a very costly campaign. Obviously, if you're not itching to get leads in the door right now, you have a very steady cash flow and you have a steady flow of customers coming in, then you can reduce that budget and focus more on a branding campaign that will help keep that cash flow regular and will help keep those people coming in down the line. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, if you want to basically incorporate two different types of marketing or advertising strategies into your current campaigns, between branding and lead generation, obviously that is something that we handle here at Starfish. We do handle it as an agency. We also do offer this as a consulting service. So if this is something that you are wanting to do and you want to do it yourself and you want to learn how to create those campaigns, please feel free to reach out to us and we would love to show you how through our consulting services. Again, if you guys would like, share, and comment on this video if you really found it informative. And like always, if there's any subject or anything that you want to know about that we haven't discussed, please let us know because we'd love to hear about it. And that's all for today. Thanks.